Hello, I think this is going to be another video. Man, it's been a long time since the last time I recorded a video, and I finally have the time again. It's not that I have absolutely no more interest in Minecraft, although I almost have none, but I've just been enjoying studying, as you guys I think you guys don't know that I am a massive nerd at school. I love mathematics, I love physics. So yeah, I've just been using my time to study, and I just love studying. I don't know why. And it's just something that I have been going through from my life. Is that yeah, studying sometimes just makes me happy, and it doesn't actually have an impact to my life at all. And yeah, I'm not even threatened at anything, so I'm fine, and I'm just been enjoying studying. So this is going to be an explanation, and I'm just going to make this as it is. I'm not going to care about the quality at all. I'm just going to make as I go. I'm just going to explain as I go. I don't care how long this will take. I don't know, it will take an hour, and I don't know how long. I don't even know if I still remember how to actually construct this right now and explain it again. So yeah, hopefully it all goes well. So let's start by let's do it here. I think with the layout, I think it's a double extender at the very bottom, and then we have this what else? I think you have like this 1 2 3 4 5, and I haven't actually I actually not have been playing any games. I've just so yeah, it's been a long time since the last time I played Minecraft. Okay, and what are the storages? Oh, right here. So we have one right here, and one by, my god, like there. So yeah, I don't know what to say. So I'm just gonna say that I don't know why, but studying for me is just absolutely wonderful. Especially studying math and physics, and that's just something I love from I was in. Since I was like second grade, I actually attended if you guys know Kumon, that's actually a course for mathematics, and I actually applied there. And since then, I actually was in love with mathematics and counting. So until now, I actually enjoy mathematics and science. Not science, actually, only physics and chemistry. I hate biology. I despise it so much that I wish that it will be gone for life. So yeah, I don't like biology at all, but I do like physics and chemistry, especially with Newton's laws and anything, and also math right now. Right, this I think. Oh, okay, I just remembered that we need one more piston right here, because yeah, there's something I will need to explain later. And here we need actually an immovable object at the very top. Just gonna use an obsidian because it's just the best. I think it's right there. Yeah, let me just check. Okay, I think it's right there. So fill this in, I guess, right here, and start with the wiring. So I'm just going to oh, of course, yeah, I've started forgetting stuff, and about the middle observer pusher right here. The one piston right there, and the observer facing down. Okay, so the thing that we're going to make is the input. So I think the input is like around about up here, if I'm not mistaken. That is 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4, and then up here. So yeah, it's a little bit far up. So this will be our input, and I think I will have a piston down here, and what else? A redstone and a piston facing down. Okay, so I'm just going to build this input really quick, and I'll explain why there are some stuffs right here. So I think we'll be using this right up here, and okay, and then slab right here. So I'm just currently going to construct the instant extension that we will use at the top right here, because we need this to actually start the door as soon as we unflick this lever. So I can see that if we do this, what the heck happened? Okay, nothing really did. So right here, if I put like this, oops, as soon as we unflick this lever, we will get an instant 1 game tick pulse. So there's something called input bug. I know that, I think most of you know what an input bug is, but basically if you're powering a repeater or any Taltic based components, for example, like also detecting this redstone dust with an observer, it will turn on 1 game tick sooner than the normal time. So repeaters have a normal delay of 1 ticks, but if you're activating it directly from a player, it will activate 1 game tick sooner. So yeah, that's a little bit garbage, but I think it's gonna be fine, because it actually doesn't matter if we send a 1 game tick or a 2 game tick pulse. Yeah, and I think I should probably go a little bit quicker because I don't want to waste your guys' time as well. So right here, and oops, and then we have this input at the very top with a block right here and a target right here. Actually we need 2 targets right here because this is one's for later purposes. And then we need, this will go up, right? But what level we put? Oh, we put the target. Okay, so we put a target right here, and we have this as a block event delay, this, and how many gas? Oh, we have all the way down until that piston. So all the way down till here, we need a redstone block, block again, up there piston, and okay, 1 game tick, 0 tick slider. Also the in, I think it's right there. Yes. And our input to the this line is this dust. And I think we have, yeah, we have a slab up here because we need our input for another 0 tick slider, which will do oh, this needs to be a solid block because this is Alugia 7's what is it, 0 tick slider, double 0 tick pulse generator. It's actually what makes this door possible. And PixieBlox' Alumindos and Alugia 7 himself made a 540 blocks that opens in 1.55 seconds. Like this, and cool. We have this, and the significance of this is that if you don't know, if we just, for example, have for example, we have in this position, I don't remember, but I think it was in this position right here. So that's my fault. And yeah, in this position, and if we power this, we can see that it will retract fully to the top. So where can I see? I'm just gonna give me some barriers. So I'm just gonna replace this for barriers for now, so you guys can see what really is happening. So the pistons. I think this needs to be spat down, or rather this needs to be pulled up. Yeah. Oh, of course, don't forget about the up there pistons in this row right here. Alright, so let me just do this in a slow TPS so you guys can see what is happening. We do that. What is happening? Oh, I was absolutely dumb. I forgot that we need to power this with an observer at the first time. So yeah, I've completely forgotten everything. Do this. So I'm going to pull this up one more time. Like this. And I'm not sure why this is pushed. I think, yeah, it's because of that. That's fine. I'll fix that later. And you can see this. So yeah, you can see that it does all that. And if I just give this pulse right here, and oh, I should give a double pulse. Okay, let me just, I think we need an upper piston again at the very top right here. Do we? Actually don't know. I will figure that out later. Like this, and if we do it again, yeah, we'll just do the whole thing. So we just need to power this twice, and it will do the whole retraction. So let me just check if we actually need a secondary. Oh, we will have it right here, yeah. So the updater piston for this line is actually going to be right here. So yeah. So this is how it's going to work. And for the closing, I think it's the first thing that we are going to do is that we will just, the closing we'll just do this, and we will, I'm just gonna put this out right here and disable this really quick. Yeah, do this really quick. And so you can see that as soon as we unflick this lever, this will start extending, and this pistons right here will be spitting this block down, this row of pistons down. So you can see we'll do that and like that, and that's very good because this actually is not going to be affected by input bug, because if this is a 1 game tick pulse, you can see that we are using a normal piston right here. So one thing that you need to understand is that if you're pushing something with the normal piston, the block that is being pushed will always arrive 3 game ticks after the piston is powered. So you can see, if I just do this, even though this piston has already fully extended right here, the block is still moving for 1 more game tick. It's actually different the case when you're using a sticky piston. You can see if I will give a 1 tick pulse. So, oops. TPS 3 please, thank you. You can see that it actually, as this pulse turns off, the block will be instantly being put right there. So if we'll just do a comparison, I'm just gonna do like this, of course. And if I activate this, because that block actually arrives 1 tick faster than this piston does. And this is actually very nice, because that means that if we send a 1 game tick pulse right here, this will not arrive here 1 game tick after that piston that turns off, because that will be a challenge and will be a problem, because when this turns off, it will always update the lower pistons than this. So this turning out at the right time actually is what's making the instant extension work. So let me just reset real quick. Okay, so I've just reset everything, and let's get into the timing. So the timings I'm going to be using right here is going to be in Redstone ticks. So a piston will take 1.5 ticks to extend, and I'm not going to be using game tick terms, because I think that's just the way I will explain better. So the closing, in order to make the closing nice, as you can see, okay, that's laggy. Once again, you can see that these two appears at the same time, and that looks very nice, right? And I want that to happen, and the order to do that is that because we have 2 ticks of delay until the bottom powers, and then because we have 1, 2, and then we have 2 more ticks until these piston powers, that means that it will power at 4 ticks. That means that we need to push this down at 4 ticks as well. And in order to get that, and explain why this piston is so here, because piston is the only component that can be detected by an observer that it will not be affected by input bug. That means that if you're detecting a piston using an observer, it will always turn on 1 tick after, like that. So 1 tick, 2 ticks, and then we will be using sticky piston and an observer. So when you move an observer with a piston, the observer, it will always turn on 2 ticks after the piston is powered, no matter what pulse you put. You put a 0 tick, 1 game tick, 2 game ticks, or even like 15 game tick pulse, I don't know, it will not. It will still the same, it will turn on always 2 ticks after the piston is powered. It means 1, 2, 3, 4. Until this powers, that means that is powered at the perfect time. Right there. And then we will just also be connecting to this. It's just super simple. We'll just do this, and then I think we have a dropper and furnace system. So this dropper furnace thing is, where's this furnace? Where do I, okay, here. So we will have a dropper right here, yes, and a furnace. Random item to silent right here, so it will not power and it will not make a noise because everyone hates it, except, I don't know, someone might like it, I don't care, like this. And we will just, of course, be pushing this observer and these two pistons right here. And I'm just going to be using a barrier right here so you guys can see this is actually pushing down. Just turn on Macy. Okay. So what is going to happen? Oh, this is one tick, not like this. So that's going to be our middle observer pusher. And then for this pusher right here, we'll activate it directly from, I actually don't remember. Okay, I just remembered. So we have a piston right here and an observer right here. So we'll activate that from quasi connectivity. And then we will have the composter. So actually, I've just discovered something, is that we can just put a furnace right here. So for those who actually already built this, we can put a furnace and put exactly one, whoops, non-stackable item. And then we, oh my god, what is, okay, let's be a little bit serious at this moment. I'm just trying to get used to playing Minecraft again. Okay, actually looks nice in the top slot. And have a competitor output in the very back right here. And we're just going to be using that as a block. A piston in the block will turn on. So, and we will see that it will turn on after under here with a stick strength of 1. That's ideal. And it will also turn on this, right? Because this block powering is always but that. And these two dusts will update dot piston. Like that. And then one thing that we need to do again is a note block. Where is my note block? And this has to be a note block right here for later purposes. So this is going to be what is making the, what is not, I think, oh yeah, we need to turn this on. I'm just going to, yeah, close the door real quick. And let me just reset this right there. So this is going to be the closed thing, this is going to be the closed form, and the way we're going to open this door is that this will instantly retract, giving this line a 1 game tick pulse, spitting these pistons down, and because this is a sticky piston, these pistons will arrive here at exactly 1 redstone tick at the door movement, okay? Because this is going to be an instant 1 game tick pulse, that means the pulse turns off at 1 game tick, oh sorry, yeah, this will be here. This pistons will be pushed here and be positioned right here at exactly, what is it, 1 game tick or 0.5 redstone ticks. And this piston, because it's it's a regular piston, this redstone block will arrive here at 3 game ticks, exactly 3 game ticks or 1.5. That will zero tick this line at here at 1.5 redstone ticks. And then what we need to do next is that we need to power these pistons at this row from this block with a bud. You can see we can have an observer right here. It will bud this, and we need to update it with the pistons at the very top. So that is going to be the thing that we're going to be making and we're going to be doing. So let's reset things. I think I should probably use an obsidian right here. And I still remember that we have a furnace at here because we will have a dropper right there as well. Cool. And then in order to push this down, I think we use this piston right here. Again, it's going to be, we're using this to avoid the input bug again. And yeah, so let me just push this in. Okay, and this will get pushed down, and in order to activate that one, we will just be connecting. I'm just going to put barriers across here with this dust going, wait, what? I saw the dust was, okay, I'm not sure why I actually saw a redstone dot, not a redstone cross. Oh, I don't have a barrier. Okay. And I need a slab. I have lost it again. Where is it? Here. And that's going to be powering this at exactly 1 tick. So again, we're powering this at 1 tick, and because it's moved by a piston, it will turn on at after 2 ticks. Then it will turn on at 3, which is the perfect timing. Because if you count the times, this piston right here, this piston, let me just demonstrate this really quick. I'm gonna activate that. So okay. So this will be 0 tick here at 3 game ticks exactly, or 1.5, and we're going to be pushing with a block, of course, right here. And one thing is that when you're 0 ticking a piston, these row of pistons will arrive here instantly, but the blocks that are not directly in front of the piston head will always arrive here 3 game ticks or 1.5 redstone ticks after the piston is powered. That means that even though that these pistons arrive here at 3 game ticks, we can't immediately 0 tick or basically give a 3 game tick pulse to push this down again instantly, because of course these blocks are still moving, and a moving block is an immovable tile entity, or immovable, yeah, basically it's immovable, so you can't power it. So the way to do that is that, because this line is 0 tick at 3 game ticks or 1.5, that means that this pistons can be powered again at 3 redstone ticks exactly, or 0.3 seconds. That's why these observers turning on at 3 redstone ticks exactly is the perfect timing. So right there, that is quick explanation. Let's get into the place again. Oops. Yeah, I'm just gonna put that there. Okay. The blocks. Let me just demonstrate it really quick for you guys. I'm gonna put barriers and right here, because we need them to actually power. We need them because these observers need to power the butted pistons using a solid block, and I'm just gonna use barrier like that. So let me demonstrate this using 3 TPS, and I'm just gonna pause the game using the. I actually don't remember what the mod called. Sorry. Using Spacewalker's mod. Redstone Tweaks. Yeah, it's actually a good mod that you can use to pause the game like me. So be ready. I'm just gonna do this. Maybe slow it down again. You can see right here, it arrives at 3 ticks, and you can see that arrives here, and you can see that this block was inside here for a brief moment until it arrives back down here, right? So that's how it works, and that is just the extension. So we need to give this 3 game tick pulse from these observers, right? Why did that not push down? I guess I forgot a piston, right? I don't know. I don't exactly know why, but I'm not gonna care about that for now. Okay, let's reset everything, and we will be continuing. Oops. I'm going to be resetting this again by just pulling it up. This, and from here. Oh, I forgot about this. So I actually don't know why it's still powered. I actually have forgotten how we are going to do that. So this needs to be pulled back up from. I'm just gonna do like that. Okay. I'm not exactly sure why. Oh, because I haven't actually gotten. This needs to be spat out actually. So yeah. So in order to do that, we will get this, and I'll be doing the calculations later, and I need to just do this real quick. Okay. So I'm going to close the door again, and of course we need this to be spat out because I will get the system later. I actually just do it now because it's just this basically. So it's not that hard. So let me just get the TPS to 3, and we will talk about this middle observer push right now. So I'm going to observe right now that this actually turns on at 1 tick. You can see this observer, and this also pushes at 1 redstone tick as well, because it's being powered from this dropper, put it from this node block, and directly powering that through the block below, right? But you can see if I flick the lever, only this piston actually powered and not this one. And how does that actually work? Well, the truth is that basically both of them powered, but we are going to make use or abuse basically, I don't know what it's called, but I like to call it the updating process, or not the update order, but the updating process inside the redstone, inside the game tick. So the update process of the game is that the game will always process tile ticks before block events, and tile tick components, for example, are repeaters, observers, and then droppers are as well, competitors are as well, and then lots of other things. And the block event delays, I'm sorry about that, that's actually my alarm to drink, so I'm just gonna drink real quick, full. And block event components are pistons, for example. And so by the fact that tile ticks are always processed before block events, that means that this system will work, even though that this block is budded, this dropper is budded, but because we have this node block, because node block is an instant updater, it's not like a piston. The piston, when it's updating another piston, it will add 1 block event delay. And I'm not going to talk that for now about block event delays, because it's not going to be relatable for now. But yeah, updating process, that is right there. And then because it's budded, but because this is instant, that means that it will always turn on this, and the game will always process this observer detecting this dropper being powered rather than this observer detecting this piston right there. So that's just the logic behind why this works, and the reason why this also works in the opening, because of course this actually pushes nothing, and this also powers at 1 tick. That means that we can have a signal directly into this piston, pushing down exactly 1 tick and turn on at 3 redstone ticks. Very nice. Okay, so that was another explanation point, and I hope you understand that. And I should probably pull this up again before forgetting later. Okay, so immediately if I turn this on, this will all push down at exactly 1 tick. You can see that. I'm gonna pause the game again. This, I'm gonna have the game read back like this, like that, and you can see 0 tick, and that block was inside here, and all of them are pushed exactly at 1 tick. And only these, oh my god, I am actually dumb. I've just remembered that barriers are immovable. I think we can make it movable, I think. Let me, barrier is movable, true, okay. Now I can confirm. Cool. Okay, so I accidentally turned it off. So I'm sorry about that. That's why it was not doing this. Okay, let me just reset this thing again by just pulling this block up, double drag, and I'm just gonna reset everything really quick. That is in the correct position. I'm not gonna care about that right now. And I'm going to disable this really quick, because I accidentally placed it right there, and it was not the thing that I was about to do. And you can see that this block is spat out, because this piston will take 3 game ticks or 1.5 ticks to retract, and this observer turns on at 2. That means that it will spit this back out again at exactly 2 redstone ticks, which makes it work. Let me just close the door again, and of course I forgot to reset that, so that's nothing to be worried about. And reset this. How do I? Okay, here. Excellent. Cool. So we will get to the budded situation right here. So again, I'm just gonna open the door. Sorry. /tps3. The reason why it was caps lock because I used caps lock key to actually crouch, which actually a little bit weird, but I'm not gonna care about that. Again, pause the game. Here, it's here. So I'm just going to slow it down very, very slowly. And we'll see that this all turn on at one tick. We just got pushed down at the correct time. And right here, it will turn on at one tick. But it doesn't actually power these row of pistons. And the reason about that is that because this block is but powering this, and again, of course, we all know that basically the easiest thing in the world is actually the situation right this block is powering this, but this person hasn't realized until you give a block update. It will do by using a piston, or of course by using a node block, which I always use, but what is wrong with node block? Is an instant updater as well as rails, bells, and leaves, but leaves add 1 game tick of delay. So yeah, the situation was like that, except we are actually using an observer. So it will look like this. You can see that no matter what I use, no matter what I do, I will activate this observer, and it will not activate the piston until we give an update. Like that. So the thing that we're going to be using is that we're going to updating it using this piston, and extending pistons actually updates pistons that are budded instantly. So let me say that we have a budded piston right here. You can see right there. And if I slow down the game, when I extend this piston, it will instantly update that piston, right? And that is actually perfect, because that means that because these pistons right here are exactly 0 ticked at 1.5, that means a piston retracting actually 3 game ticks on 1.5. That means that it will finish retract at 3 ticks exactly. That means at exactly 3 ticks as well, we can power these pistons, and because it's only 1 block away, that means that we can extend these pistons and have the update for these bottom pistons to extend down. Great, right? So if we actually do that, let me just reset this by I'm just going to place a piston temporarily right there to reset everything, so I can do it not hardly, so I can do it easily. That's the word. Where is? I think I broke something on top of. Yes, I did broke a bear here. Alright. So reset everything, and I think this needs to be pushed up again. Cool. And again, that is done by just this. So again, the timing behind this is that this piston will retract, and it will be right here at 3 ticks. Okay. It will be right here at 1.5, and this comparator takes 1 more redstone tick to turn on. That means it will turn on at 2.5 or 5 game ticks. I'm actually not entirely sure whether this comparator turns on at 2 or at 4, or at 2 or at 5, because there's one special property is that comparators and repeaters, if you push a redstone block or any power block using a piston, piston takes 3 game ticks to extend, but repeaters will always detect and will turn on always after 1 tick. That it will always turn on 1 tick after the piston is powered. So yeah, this is either powered at 5 or 4, but I believe it's powered at 5 because we are using a block. But previously, if you are using a composter, I think it will turn on at 4, because this comparator will already detect the composter being right here at 1 redstone ticks, so it will turn on at 2. But it doesn't actually matter whether it turns on at 2 or at 3 at 2.5, because at either 2 or 2.5, these pistons at this level were still retracting. That means that basically when retracting piston, it will just neglect every powering source that are coming in, and it will schedule it again as soon as it finishes retracting right there. Okay, let me just close the door again. Right there, perfect. And again, I have already had this block in place, and we can see that it will all extend at exactly 3 ticks. Oops. Like that. It will extend and it doesn't retract because we need to turn this pulse off by just spitting this piston back up like that, and it will be done later. So let me replace the dust. And yeah, that is retracting, but that is not going to be a huge problem. Again, I'm going to be resetting this, push it back. This row of pistons. How long has it been? Let me just check. 37 minutes. Okay. I'm not gonna care. Again, I'm just making this as I go along. Let me just split this up so that it will actually be a little bit easier when we close the door again, because it will be powered again, right? Okay, let's set this. And again, close the door. Cool. So everything is reset, and the reason why this actually, you can see that these observers give 1 tick pulses, right? But you saw earlier that this piston was doing a 3 game tick pulse. So a 3 game tick pulse, because pistons take 3 game tick to extend, that means that it will extend, and as soon as it extended, it will retract back. Like that. So that's a 3 game tick pulse. And how are we going to make that? Is that basically a 3 game tick pulse in this situation is a piston when it only receives a pulse at and receives an update only at the rising edge or where the pulse is turned on. Okay, and this is actually really useful because it's used in 5x5s, 0.91 on 1.05 seconds. 5x5s use this concept. This 1.50, 1.55, all 1.55, 1.75, 1.95 even. If you have 540 blocks, 576 blocks, 5x5s, use this concept because it's wonderful. And the reason and the way we're going to make that is like this. So suppose you have this observer powering this, and we'll just give an update at the rising edge and at turning, and I'm just going to update it using a piston. Okay, you can see that it will give 1 tick pulse, because when this pulse turns off, this piston also will update this piston telling that the pulse has turned off, you should spit your block and retract, like that. So that's just the basic knowledge behind it, like that. And so when we are doing this piston, because it's only extending, it will turn on this piston at the rising edge, telling that, hey, this observer pulse is actually powering you, you should extend. But because these pistons right here are extending, and when they are fully retracted, they will not give another update into this piston. So when this pulse turns off, this will not tell that, hey, the pulse has turned off, so you should retract. So we will not do that. So this concept actually also applicable using this standard double piston extender that I think most of you know, using this 4-tick repeater and observer there, and like this. You can see that it gives a 3 game tick pulse as well. And you can see like here, if I just have down here, slow down the game, you can see that when the, oh my god, it's actually a little bit hard. Okay, let's not hold the barrier. Don't hold the barrier. Okay. Okay. So I need to slow down the game super slowly so you guys can exactly see what is happening. Okay. So let's wait. Okay, you can see This observer turns on exactly when this is extended. Right now. This turns on, and this extends. It receives an update from this actually being pushed. So when you push a piston, it will update itself. I will show that after this. And this push is still turned on, and you can see right there the pulse turns off, but this isn't retracting. You can see. So it's actually not very good using a slow TPS because you can't really see what is exactly happening. So I'm just going to do that again using probably just 3 TPS. You can see again, you can see that basically when this piston is 1 game tick before fully extended, this pulse has already turned off because again piston takes 3 game ticks to extend, and this is only 1 tick pulse. That means we will subtract both together. Okay, drink before I continue. So guys, you can see that this when this piston is 1 game tick away from being fully extended, this observer pulse will already turn off. But you can see that this piston, because it's only extended, it won't update this piston again. That means that it will be fully extended, and if a piston is fully extended, it will immediately update itself and will retract because it changed block states, right? So a changed block state position condition will always update anything. So again, I will tell you that again, if you push a piston, it will update itself. That means that if I have a body situation like this, you can see that will extend instantly. So it's a natural update. You can see like that. It will always update itself. This doesn't work using a dispenser or dropper. You can see right here. If I have a redstone block right here, and if I put a dropper right here, you can see that it will not turn on. You can see it's still triggered false right there. And if I give an update, and just put a block inside there, if I give an update, it will spit its item. So yeah, this only works with piston because pistons are smart. Pistons can update themselves, and my mouse is dead. Let me unplug and plug it again. Cool. So yeah, it's actually this condition right here. When this piston is fully extended, it will update itself and retract. And it's different case if you put the piston right here as an additional updater. So you can see if I put a piston right here or a node block, I think that will just be better. Or in this case, I'm going to use a piston. You can see that it will update itself, right? You can see that when this pulse turns off, here, oops, right here, if I do this, you can see that it updates, because when this pulse turns off, this piston is going to update the piston right here, telling that hey, the pulse has turned off, you should retract right there. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope you understand now how to actually make a 3 game tick pulse. So yeah, basically just update the piston at the rising edge, and this only works with a pulse that is less than a 2 tick pulse. Okay, so this only works with 1 tick pulse, 0 tick pulse, and a 3 tick pulse. No, 3 game ticks or 1.5. Although 1.5 will just exactly give 1.5 ticks or 3 game tick pulse, but yeah, that is going to be working for 0, 1 game tick, and 2 game tick pulse. Yeah, 0, 1.5, 0, 0.5 or 1 tick pulse right there. So that's actually the scenario that we have right here. So if I will just have this remover right here, so the timing behind this is 1 tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks, 4 ticks, and 5 ticks, right? So the reason, again, let's get back to this timing. This pistons will start extending and have the 3 game tick pulse right here. So this piston will extend at 3 game ticks. At 3 ticks, it will fully extend, and a fully extended piston takes 1.5, that means it will fully extend it at 4.5, and it will immediately retract, and it will fully retract at exactly 6 ticks, right? That means that we need to turn this pulse off right here at 6 ticks, and it is done by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you're moving this piston, this comparator will instantly turn off. It will instantly, yeah, it's basically going to instantly turn off. But because it has a 1 tick delay, that means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's the perfect timing. So I can demonstrate that right now. I can see right, okay, here, like that. See, this will retract. That's not gonna be a problem. They will retract as soon as possible again at 6. So these pistons arrive here at 7.5, right? That means that we need to retract this using a 0 tick as soon as possible at 7.5. Let me just, oh my gosh, let me just fix things up using comparator. What? Oh, here, comparator. What the heck? Let me fix things up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should have been down like this, and let me grab my furnace to silence this again. That. Okay. There was a minor mistake I did. Push this back. Oh, like that. Again, reset this. Like that, and this should be sped down. This should be sped down. Retract the. Oh, this barrier right here was moved. Alright, excellent. Let's close the door again. Nice. So you guys already can see that these pistons will get back up here in this level at 7.5. That means that we need to 0 tick them at 7.5, but it's going to be a modded situation right here, right? You can see that this doesn't actually power this instantly, and we need an update, and somehow we need to get an update. So the way we're going to get this 0 tick real quick is that, well, because we need to power it at 7.5, because this pushing down takes 3 game ticks or 1.5, that means that we need to power it at 6, right? Because this will needs to be powered at 6. It will turn on at 6, and this redstone block will arrive here at 7.5. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rail 6, 7. Excellent. Very nice. So yeah, this actual orientation can be up or to the side. Actually doesn't matter at all. Okay. So that's just going to be making that. And let me just destroy that. Okay, so let's see what it's going to do. So TPS, open the door. 3 game tick pulse, retract instantly. And you guys can see that we have another 3 game tick pulse situation, right? And that is not good again, of course, because we need a 0 tick, because this will also retract at the same time. So again, the reason why it's getting a 3 game tick pulse, because this is butting this, and pistons again, when they are moved, it gets an update. That means that when this is retracted and it's fully retracted, it will move this pistons, and this pistons being put right here, being pulled right here, will mean that it will update itself and basically receive the pulse from right here. So that's how it works. My gosh. Okay, let me just I'm just gonna reset it manually. There's no point of wasting my time trying to nail that. Oh my god. Where is the block? Okay. I think I removed something. Oh, that is this obsidian. place it there, there. Power that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we need to get an update somehow at that point, and the only thing that we can do is that we need to pull these pistons back up, right? Because again, I don't know how to. I'm just gonna temporarily have a piston right here, pushing it up because I'm too lazy to do so. Place it back again. Okay. And again, we need to delete this block. Why am I doing? I don't know. Okay. Alright. So close the door again. And again, that pulse actually comes from right here. Because this turns on at 4 in the closing. It means that this piston right here will be right here at 5.5. This pulse turns on at 6. It means it will push down at 0 at 7.5. And it will push this at 7.5. But it doesn't matter because we have a smart toggle down there. You can see right there. That's the smart toggle I have. So I will talk about that. I don't know how long this will take, and I don't know how at what time I will explain that, but yeah, exactly later. So next up, we need to get the retraction and also the update for this pistons at this level, so it doesn't receive a 3 game tick pulse and it will receive a 0 tick. And that is going to be where we are going to be using this slider. So again, this piston arrives here at 7.5. At 7.5, that means that we need to retract and power the slider at exactly 7.5 as well. And that is going to be done by, this is 1. And I don't remember how we're going to access that. Okay. This is 1. Okay. This is 1 tick. And we're going to be using this observer right here. This is okay. So the logic behind this is that this turns on at 1, and this piston, this observer will not turn on at 3. Although I said that piston, when they're moving observers, it will turn on 2 ticks after. That means you add those together and get 3. But the reality is that because this is a 1 tick pulse, and this piston needs to pull this observer before it can turn this on. That means that we have a 1 tick pulse. This piston will take 1 tick to extend, 2 ticks, and that means that this turns on after 2 ticks. After 2 ticks from the second tick, that means that it will turn on at exactly 4 ticks. Okay. It will turn on at 4 ticks right there, and we will be using because this turns on at 4, and because we're going to be powering this block using an observer. That means that we will not get a 1 game tick delay. That means that we need to get it manually, and that is done by this. Like this. So again, when you're powering the scaffolding, a trapdoor, the scaffolding will update 1 game tick later. So 1 tick, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 6, 4.5, 5.5, and we need to somehow power this, right? And we'll be powering that using this. You can see this observer right here, and that is actually going to be what is retracting this piston right here, this observer right here. Although I think it's 1 game tick too late. I think that's what PixieBlox told us, but yeah, that's why we have this. Where's the updater piston? Yeah, this updater piston right here, as opposed to that side, because we need this block of ventilating to make this work. So I don't know what the logic behind this is, but yeah, it's just like that. So we're going to be using a dropper right here, and of course silencing that. Let me just pull it up. Okay, silence it up using another dropper furnace. So put a repeater there and block, of course, why not? So again, this will not make a noise. And again, let me just recap: 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5. That is exactly the perfect timing to power this line, to get the update at this point, and to get retraction. Excellent. That means that, and we'll and in order, yeah, what am I saying? So block right here. I think we need to dust right here. Oh no, we block. Yeah. And since we need to create a 0 tick, this only is a 1 tick pulse. That means that again, the way we're going to get 0 tick is that we will move this piston down, and again this turns on at the same time as this. But because this is an observer, that means that this observer turning on and this will be processed at the same time, but this block being powered will be processed before this piston, because again piston is a block event and it is processed after tile ticks. Again, a tile tick abusal for the better right there. Okay. Oops. Okay, drink again. So I said that actually every 15 minutes, so I've drunk 3 times. That means that, yeah. Cool. Let's see. I think we will ready to test this out. Yeah, and of course, because we already saw the chain, is that this will do the whole retraction from this point. You can see by powering this once, you can see this when you power this will instantly 0 tick this will also push this down, and because this is 0 tick, it will instantly extend and it will just instantly not instantly retract, it will instantly get into the retracting position. That means that it will retract at 7.5 and finish retracting at 9, and because this piston extending, a normal piston will take 3 game ticks, it will turn on this again at 9 redstone ticks, even though it's budded, because we have this 2 updater pistons and we have this one right here. That's why we need 2. So yeah, this will turn on this piston. Let me just pull this manually like this. Give me target. Thank you. Again, this will pull this and be here at 9 redstone ticks. This will retract again at 9 redstone ticks from a bud. It will pull this up right here, and again, because since we're powering this, and this will arrive here at 9 redstone ticks, it will power this chain and push this down, and because again it's normal piston, it will turn on 1.5 ticks after, and it will be right here at 10.5, exactly as this time as this piston was already pulled up here, because this piston retracts at 9 redstone ticks, again because a piston takes 1.5 ticks to retract. That means it will finish retracting at 10.5, and this right here arrives here at 10.5. It will retract this bottom piston using a 0 tick at exactly 10.5 as well. And of course that is very nice, because we basically just powering this once and we have, I don't know, like 3 retractions for free happening. So that's just why this actually is very nice. I think we can test it right now. So again, I will show you that this will work. Pause the game real quick. I want to get to the other side so you can see the whole of this door working. Get away. Boom. First extension, 0 tick, 3 game ticks, updated instant, again right here, and this will be where this happens, this 0 tick happens. You can see 0 tick, so you can see 0 tick, 0 tick, like that. So we got 3 retractions for free happening, and we just need to give this double pulse right there at the very top. So we will do that later. I will do it after this, and power this again to have the full retraction. And right now I'm just going to be making use of this to reset everything to the top. And this actually already was retracted, but I'm not sure why it actually is pushed down again, but I'm not gonna care for that. I'm not gonna care that for now. I will investigate that later. Okay, so again, because you're using a piston, this will push up and it will not power anything. That will be disabled later. Okay, And next we need to get the pulse in the very top right here, and the double pulse, another pulse right here. I am going to be doing that. Another pulse right at this budget level, and then this final pulse right here. Alright, so I think let's continue from this. So because this pulse turns on at, again, let's recap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5.5, and because this is turned on at 7.5, it will finish retracting at 9. That means that we can already pull this row of pistons at exactly 9 ticks, right? So the way we're going to do that, I'm not actually going to use 0 tick, we will use a 1 tick pulse, because that is the only case where we can have a 1 tick pulse in this whole retraction of the quad. So because the original or the origin input right here is already a 1 game delay, so we need to balance it again, and we will be doing that using scaffolding again. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, and then no, of course, that's my fault. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5.5, 6, 7 piston, have no delay, and it will be powering this observer right here. So this observer turns on at 8, and what we're doing, because they need to retract this at 9, and again, because this turns on at 8, it will turn off at 9, and that is the perfect timing for this line to be activated. And again, this is why we need this target, because we need this signal to go up or down, and so we need to have a slab, and this target make sure that this piston is powered. Alright, so I can demonstrate that again. We will get that retraction done. Right here. Right there. So again, we need to get the 0 tick pulse at this level, and then power this again, the very last. Okay, so you can see that it's actually retracted now. Very cool. Again, let's reset everything. And where's my redstone block? Alright. And I'm going to be using this piston technique to reset everything to the top. Cool. Alright, and this needs to be pulled down, because in the real door we will have, of course, this blocks be here. That means that when this turns on again at the very beginning, it will not be pushed because this is here. And same thing for this side. Actually, you know what, I'm going to be just not have this for this demonstration, okay? So not to be worried. Alright, and let's get the 0 tick pulse at this level. Okay. So the way we're going to power that, we will actually butt this piston again. So from here, we can have a block right here, but we can't have a, okay, where's my slab? We will have like this. Then that is why we have this target, because we need this target to power the butt the pistons at this level, right? For this side, we can again, we can butt this piston from this block, but at this side we can't, because basically when we butt this piston, you can see if we will use a block right here, this will actually turn off too fast, no, too late. And because it will turn off too late, that means that we can't pull this observer, or we cannot push this piston in and pull it up at the same time as the final retraction does, and it will look horrible, and it will not be synchronized, which I don't want. And that's why we have to use this, and this actually is not a slab, because we will be using a piston that is going to be updating the butted pistons right here. And we can't actually have it right here, but just to stop any weird updates happening, let's just have it right here. Right, so how are we going to get that 0 tick? And the gateway, sorry. the way to get that actually was right this. So we'll be using, I don't remember how. Yes, of course. So this pulse turns off at 9. That means that it will be pulling this row of pistons at exactly 9 ticks. It will arrive here at 10.5, and we need to zero tick it at 10.5, right? And because this input right here is already normalized into the odd game, into the even game ticks, that means that we can only access it from right here. So again, let's recap: 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5, 6. No, that's 5 as well. I will actually have a repeater right here. Let's redirect it really quick. I'll explain this why later, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, and a block. 7.5, 8.5. A sticky piston is the block, and observer facing down with the redstone torch right here. And again, why is this right here? And why we are using this piston? This doesn't actually get a 0 tick pulse, because you can see that's a 2 tick repeater. And so this works like this. So let's recap again. 1, where is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5. That means that this turns on at, no, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5. Oh yeah, of course. 7.5, 8.5. This will turn on at 8.5, and again, because this turns on at 8.5 is a 2 tick repeater, it will turn off at 10.5. I mean, that means that it turns off at the perfect timing. So I'm going to demonstrate how this works really quick before I show you how this works. Pause the game. I'm going to just be right here. Let me just slow this down. I can see that right here, and it gave the 0 tick pulse, even though that this piston is extending, and it will be right here, and whilst this piston is being retracted, and it will give a 0 tick pulse. And how does that work? So it was like this. It's actually a pretty nice thing that most of YouTubers that are good in Redstone use. Okay, so let me explain how. So again, this turns on at 8.5. A piston takes 3 at 1.5 ticks to extend. That means it will fully extend at 10 ticks. And this turns on at 10.5. That means that this piston will be extended for only 1 game tick, right? It will be extended from 10 until 10.5. It will turn off at 10.5. And how does that exactly create a 0 tick? Because it was only a 1 game tick pulse you saw, right? So the logic behind this is that because we are powering these pistons whilst it's still retracting, that means that it will not react to the 1 game tick pulse right here, right? And when they are fully retracted in this level, this piston will retract, and this piston right here will update this pistons, and will basically receive a 0 tick pulse. And the nicest and the best thing about this is that this is the most, I think this, through my observation, this is by far the most reliable 0 tick generator ever existed in Minecraft. I'm not even kidding. I have a proof. So this is the most reliable because it has been used, and it's been working since 1.11 even. It has been working from 1.11, and it was first used in 1.13 at 2018. So it's already been 30 years, almost 4 years. So this is how reliable this is. This is non-locational, non-directional, non-core independent, whatever complications that is, and it is 100% reliable. Here's the proof. So I have already downloaded Lumendo's 858 blocks, 1.05 seconds opening, 1.11 versions plus 5x5 piston door. Let me just demonstrate it really quick. It actually closes in 1.05 as well, which is actually a wonderful thing. Oh man, it's so laggy. Okay, I'm not sure why it's lagging, so yeah, you can see that it actually opens very fast. And the most interesting thing about this is this. So we have, okay, let me drink real quick. So the most interesting thing about this and the application of that zero tick to false that I said it was the most reliable is right here. So I have actually already had this problem before where I need, so let me just slow this down and show you guys how this works from this perspective. So I'm going to be giving a little bit context. So if you see, or if you have built my 1.05 seconds, which I had, that is 1014 blocks, which is not really good. It's not as good as this, it's only 1.16 above. It actually comes when we need to retract this piston in this level, so we can see. So you can see we need to give a zero tick right here. We need to give a zero tick pulse right here, and what I was using is that I was using a redstone dust and a zero tick pulse generator that looks like this. I think all of you might have known this, because this is one of the oldest things that we can use. I'm not going to be showing how it works, but it works like this. So when you have a butted piston that is being powered with 2-tick pulse, I've actually explained it in the explanation video of my 1.05, so be sure to watch that to understand how it works. And this is actually locational and unreliable if you're powering a redstone dust like this, because of block ventilation. Because redstone dusts are locational, that means that in some locations redstone dust have a tendency to actually have the property of basically having a higher block of delay. That means that it will not give a zero tick. That means that it's not reliable. It will be reliable if you're powering directly the observer to a piston, but it's not reliable when you're powering using a redstone dust. So you can see this observer is directly powering this from a quasi connectivity, and it will be a zero tick. I'm not exactly sure why I have done that. Maybe I actually... Okay, let me fix that. I don't know why. Okay, I think what I did was I accidentally turned this into a redstone dot, I think. So yeah, that was my fault. Okay, let's get back into this. So let's evaluate the timing of this. So if we go back down, this will retract instantly. And it's this, where we do here, this piston. It's actually a bit hard. This piston right here. This is very dense. This is why this is really good, because it's very dense. It's very hard to get inside here, right? You can see that this piston will instantly retract. It will be right here at 1.5, right? And because you can see that it's going to be powering this piston from a redstone torch down below right there. You can see that block being pulled, arrives here at 3 game ticks. It will power this piston at exactly 3 game ticks, okay? Or 1.5. It will be detected by this at 3.5, so I have made a mistake. So yeah, this turns on at 1.5. This piston, this observer is detecting this exactly at 2.5. This observer will be detecting this, and it will turn on at 3.5. Okay. And again, we have known that when we push an observer using any piston, it will turn on, of course, 2 redstone ticks after, right? That means that it will turn on at 5.5. That's the thing. You need to mark that. It turns on at 5.5. And the thing is that the timing of this door, if you understand how this works, is that let me just show this again right here. Let's close the door real quick. I will actually a little bit explaining how 1.05s work. Let's do this. Let me pause the game really slowly and explain how the timing works. So this will take instantly. So 1.5, 3, 4.5, and it will be arriving here at 6. Okay, at 6. That's how it works. So this turns on at 5.5, but again it turns on when this piston is still retracting, because this piston gets stationary at 6, right? That means that the pulse had already turned on 1 game tick before the piston is fully retracted, and that is the exact same thing that happened in my door, right? And the reason why, and to create the 0 tick, we just need to push it back out using this observer and using this piston again, because I'm not going to be explaining why, but this observer turns on at 6, and we'll push this and it will cut the pulse and we'll turn it into 0 tick pulse. And this is tested that this is absolutely non-locational and non-directional, and that is why this is reliable. Although the method we're using is actually a little bit different, but the concept is the same. So the concept works is that we are turning the pulse 1 game tick before the piston finishes retracting, and cutting the pulse off when the piston finishes retracting. That is the concept that is making this 0 tick pulse generator is actually reliable. And this also works with this. I'm just going to evaluate again how. So again, we have the same thing. So this piston takes 3 game ticks to retract. 3 game ticks. It will power this at 1.5. This piston 1.5. It will turn this on after 2 ticks. It will turn at 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5. It will push this observer and it will turn on right here at 8.5, right? It will turn on at 8.5, and because this door is a 1.9, this door is a 1.05 seconds opening, that means that the last retraction needs to happen at 9 ticks, because piston takes 1.5 ticks to retract. That means you add 9 with 1.5, getting a 10.5 or a 1.05 seconds. This turns on at 8.5, and we just need to turn it off again at 9, and that's done from here. So instant 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, because this is a piston and we are detecting using a repeater, and the repeater will always turn on 1 tick after this piston is powered. Let's recap again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of 5.5, this is actually a 5 when this detects. So that this repeater detects at 5. This block being right here at when this piston is extending, and when it reaches the tick, the 5th tick, this repeater will already detect, and because it's a 2 tick repeater, it will turn at 7. 5 plus 2 is 7, and plus 2 again at 9, and that is the perfect timing to create this 0 tick pulse. I hope you understand how, and this is why this is reliable. And if you watch his video, you can see that he already said that this is reliable, and I do actually believe that. So yeah, shout out to him, because his door is amazing and this concept is actually reliable. And actually I have one more proof to be shown. And here I am on another 1.05 seconds opening, and this is done by SacredRedstone and Spacewalker back in I don't know what, but it's like June 2018. I don't precisely know what the time is, but it was June 2018, somewhere over there. So we can see that we are going to be using the same concept again. So let me just show you how this works. This is actually very excellent, because my 1.05 was also heavily inspired by this door. It uses a redstone block double extender right here, and as opposed to a observer slider. Okay, so this is how it works. So again, because this piston retracts, it will instantly retract this piston. This piston will take again 2 ticks. This observer will take 2 ticks this observer will take 2 ticks to turn on. That means it will turn on at 2. This repeater will turn on at 4, right? Because it's a 2 tick repeater, it will turn off at 6. And this timing, because it's also a 1.05 seconds piston door, it will also have the timing as what Lumendo's design does. So this needs to retract this. We need to power this dust at exactly we need to 0 tick this dust at 6 ticks, at the 6th tick. And again, I said that using redstone dust is not reliable, and why is he doing this, and why is this reliable? And because again we are using the concept that because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and because this piston takes 3 game ticks to extend, it will be fully extended right here at 5.5. And this basically uses the method that I also use. So this will be right here at 5.5. That means that this dust will be turned on for exactly 1 game tick, and this piston will retract again at 6 because it turns off. And yeah, it means that this is reliable because we are not dealing with any block event delays. We are just using a redstone dust that is being turned off at the correct timing. So let me just show you it at a slow TPS. At 3 definitely should work. I mean 0.75. You can see right here. You can see that it's turned on for exactly 1 game tick and turned off, and it will create a 0 tick. Probably, I think I can get a little bit closer so you guys can see more clearly. I think, yeah, right here is a perfect place above the cave. Oh, I forgot about the TPS. Let's do it again. TPS 3. Pause the game, turn off the lever, go right here. You can see this will be extended, being apart from that. Let's turn on for 1 game tick, and that will create a 0 tick right there. So this uses the concept exactly as I used. And yeah, so we can see that this door actually works from 1.11 until 1.16. So yeah, so it's actually a very reliable system. So it works from the 1.11 until 1.18. I know I'm still playing 1.16.5. That's fine. So yeah, so it's a very reliable system. So that's why my design is also reliable and not locational. Okay, let's get back into my design, and let me just reset this real quick. And that's just basically why I have the proof of this being the most reliable 0 tick generator ever existed. So yeah, I think it's almost everything actually. We just need to do the last double pulse at the very top, and we can go to the bottom. So let's get to the double pulse at the very top. So this retracts at 10.5. That means that we'll finish retracting at exactly 12 ticks, right? Because this door opens in 1.5 seconds. That means that the last retraction needs to happen at 13.5. Because you add 1.5 to it, we had 15, which is the perfect timing. That means that we need to give a double pulse exactly at 12, because 12 added by 1.5 is 13.5, add 1.5 again, it's 1.5. So cool. Again, and how we're going to make that work. So we will be using a the piston, using this piston. So because this door needs to open, so we need to push it, place it like this. And I will explain later, and I will show that this will work until the very top, except this door is actually not closed. Okay, let's fix this. Okay, that's my 4th alarm already, so it's already been more than 1 hour, man. It's fine. I hope you guys are fine as well. So I'm sorry for the quite long video, but I hope you are actually grateful with this, because I finally did the door, did the explanation video. Close the door again. Okay, this was in the wrong position. Okay. So this activated, but that's fine. Let's get into the explanation. So I'm just gonna show this works before I explain. This will be the full retraction of my door. Excellent. So that's the whole retraction of the door being done. Okay, let's reset everything before I explain how this works. Let's unlock. Close the door real quick. Okay. Alright, let's get into the timings. let's recap again. This needs to turn at 12. That means that because we have this original 2 ticks of delay, that means that we need to power this dropper at exactly 10 redstone ticks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5. I'm sorry, I messed the timing. 1, 2, 3.5, 4.5. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5.5, 6, 7, 8, and we are going to push this observer using this 1 tick pulse. So it will take 2 ticks after this piston is powered for this observer to turn on. This turns on at 8. That means this will turn on at 10, powering this at exactly 10 ticks. 11, 12. That's the perfect timing. And another reason why we're using this 1 tick pulse is that because this needs to track at 9. And if we were using a 0 tick pulse, the 0 tick pulse needs to take place at exactly 9 ticks, and this observer will take 2 ticks to extend, right? To turn on, right? That means that 9 plus 2 is 11. That means that we will power this door one redstone tick too late, which is non-ideal. So that's why it has to be. What is it? It has to be a 1 tick pulse at the very top right here. Okay, and that's just how it works, and I think this is going to be the full top being completed. This is not going to be a huge problem, and because of course this is directly connected from this into the closing, that means that it will just be reset from the closing from this line being powered. So yeah, it's not going to be a huge problem. So the only thing we need to do is that the middle observer pusher is resetter. And to do that, because this again needs to retract at 13.5, that means that we need to push this at 12, and I'll explain why we need to push it at 11.5. Sorry, 11.5. So let's get the timing, and then I will explain how. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, 11.5. So that's the timing. That is going to be the whole of the door being completed. I don't know if this is actually the correct thing. Let me observe how this works. Does this go down? Okay, I'm a bit confused. Oh, of course, yes. So we need to push this at 11.5, not this one. That was my fault. So 10.5 again, 11.5, and finally we have this to power this piston. So you will see that everything will be working. Okay. Oh yeah, I've forgotten one thing. I'll explain that after this. So that timing already worked, but I forgot one thing. Is that we need to retract this piston. We need to retract this observer when it's placed down here, right? And it's just being done from yes, normal piston right here. That's going to be powering this, and then normal piston, sticky piston, and this. So this will push this at the closing, and the opening will just retract and pull. So again, this is not in the correct state. I'll fix this later as we complete the bottom. So this will be the whole door done. Yeah, I'm just gonna care about that. Like that. So I should probably have this as a block so you guys can see. So again, let's do this. This will be the whole door complete for the top. What the hell, man? What the hell? But Yeah, you can see that it works. Okay, I just need to replace. I'm just gonna replace these with normal blocks right now because we're done. Let's place this down again. Put this down again, and explain how. Place this blocks and explain how. So, the timing behind this is that this is pushed at 11.5. That means that it will, because this again is a normal piston, it will take 3 game ticks or 1.5. That means it will be here at 13.5. 13, exactly 13. And we need to turn this on at 13.5. And the way to do that, let's recap again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.6, 7.5, 9.5, 10.5, 11.5 facing down. This turns on at 12.5 and this turns off at 13.5, right? That is why this works, because this is pushed right here at 13, and it will not power this because this will not power that, because when this is moving, this piston sees a moving block. That means that it will not be updated, it will not extend, and when this is arriving, when it arrives here, it will update itself, because again, when you place a piston or move a piston, it will update itself. So it will just update itself and will receive the pulse from here. This turns on at 12.5, and this piston right here arrives here at 13. That means that it will receive a 1 game tick pulse, but it will synchronize with the main extender at the top. So again, like that. So that's how it works, and that is the entire top fully built and explained. I have no idea if you guys understand, but hopefully you do understand, because I've spent way too long making this. So again, let's fill this up real quick. Actually don't, because I need to test it again later for the bottom. Okay, let's finally move to the bottom. How long has it been? Let me check. Almost 1.5 hours. Okay, so hopefully it will not take me longer than 2 hours, so you guys can just sit and see again. Okay, so finally we have finished the top, and we can finally go to the bottom. So let's explain how the bottom sequence works really quick. So I'm just gonna fill this in so you guys can see where it goes where. Actually, we can fill this up because there isn't anything left to be placed right there. Okay, so we need to power this bottom line, or the bottom actually, at exactly 2 ticks. And the reason being is, after this, let me just get some blue terracotta, because that is the color I'm going to be using. Okay, like this. So we will directly power these dust line at 1. I have to remember. Okay, at exactly 2 ticks. So right here, and go up to the slab. And again, I have already tested in all 4 directions, in all 4 heights, different stuffs, and not having any immovable right here actually fine, but in this side we need to have an immovable. And we will just use a slab right here, and the immovable is just going to be an obsidian right there. So again, I'm just going to delete this. So we need to give these bottoms 3 pulses, right? And the way to get that, and yeah, so we have already the first pulse right here. I'll just retract this everything at exactly 3. So let's actually talk about the retraction at this layer, at the first retraction. So let me close the door real quick. Yes, like this, and I'm just going to have this. Fill this in, and fill this in as well. So we have the middle portion right here. I'm not sure we can see, but I'm just going to delete this real quick, so we can see 3 of these pistons moving. So let me just slow down the game. So the way I'm just going to explain the timing, how this works, because this again, this is instant, and this right here arrives this 0 tick happens at exactly 1.5. That means that the pistons that are being pushed into here in this level will always arrive after 3 at exactly 3 ticks, right? And we need to retract it as soon as possible, because we can see that this piston will extend again, right, at exactly 3 ticks as well. So this is exactly at 3, this will extend, but this also will retract. And again, we will be just using another updating process abuse, because this happens because, again, the pistons at this level are budded from this block. Where is the barrier? Oh yeah, this barrier is bud powering this, and this observer is directly powering these pistons. That means that this will always be processed before the top does. Oh, that was my fault. I can't find any barriers again, because all the barriers have been... Okay. Let's replace it there. Oh, yeah, we have still one after. So, let me just show you how this works. Slow down again. You can see that this retracts and this extends. Oh, I forgot this dust. Okay. But you can see that it actually works for this side. Let me just do it again. I just forget that single dust. That was embarrassing. Yes. Reset this. Oops. And do it again. Let's have these. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to observe it from right in this, on the opposite side. In this side, okay? Because you can see the 3 pistons at this. So, I can see right here, this retracts, and this also extends, because we have the block of delay right here. We can have both retraction happening at the same time, and it will not be locational. So right there, that's the instant extension at the bottom. And that is basically one of the harder things that we need to encounter in the bottom, because we need to do that in order to make the top work. So yes, that's how it worked, the first part. And 2 ticks later, after this piston has been, blocks have been pulled back here, we need to pull it up into the side storage in the bottom right here. And so the work we're going to be making that happen is on this side. We'll just be having, I think, a block down here. Okay. A node. No, that's wrong. Okay, block and a rail. So we will have this rail down here. That's one lower. A rail right here, and 1 tick, 2 ticks right there, right? Like this, and both blocks at the and the observer and node blocks to update. And I'm not sure why we need to use a node block, because no, I mean, we need to use node block right here, because we have some block ventilates with, I don't know what it'll ever has happening right here, but yeah, this needs to be updated instantly, or else it will not work. Okay, and then next up we need to do is, we can see that this will work. So this will do the first part, and we need to retract this at I actually don't remember. Oh, we need to retract this at, we need to power it at 4 and retract it 5. And the way we're going to make that happen, and this side I'm going to make use of a slider. So a slider like this, because this line right here will get 3 pulses. That means that we need to use a slider, or else it will just spam 3 pulses in the bottom, and that's not gonna be good. That's too low. So a slider like this, and we will have to reset it later. Okay. So we need to power it at, I think it's 6. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm not gonna care about that for now. So 1, 2, this is a moving observer, so 3, 4. We'll power this observer. We need to have this as a dropper and a repeater, so this needs to be a dropper for later. Like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So into powered 6 like this. And on this side we will do again another slider. So I think it starts at yes, but the only difference is that it actually faces to the side as opposed to the back side. Right here, we just get this, and I think we have like this, and we have a slab. Oh, we have a note block. Okay, a note block, and this needs to be a note block. I was about to use a dropper and a furnace because we can see we have a. Well, we don't have the space. So yeah, and this needs to be a solid block because we need to power this for the second pulse into this line. So like this, and we will have dust right here, and I don't actually know what timing that is. A 2 on top of an observer, because this is going to be used for the sides. This. So let's recap the timing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a block. You can see that we are powering this at 7. We're powering this at 6. It is actually different, but it's actually fine. It's not going to be messing up with anything. So it is reliable. So we don't need to worry about the difference of timings in each side. And in the middle one, we don't need like that because we only have 3 right here. So this will be put here, and whichever side will win basically will pull this, and the next step will pull it right there. So it's not something to be worried. So this pulse in the very bottom, in the bottom part right here, needs to be spaced for 4 ticks. So 1, 2, turns on a 2, and we need to turn it on again at 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That means that we need to put 6 like this. Okay, so that made a mistake. So 1, 2, turns on a 2, 4 ticks later, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a dust, right? Yes. So this turns on again at 6, and we need to turn on again at 10. And we need to do that from this side because we don't have any space left in that side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it goes from here. If I'm not mistaken, I don't actually remember. So, oh no, we will not use that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We will have this dropper facing into this dropper. We will just have this so we can silence them already. So different item there, different item right here, and another different item. So again, if I power each dropper, it will not make any noise. What? Oh, it needs to be filled to the fullest. Or do we use any? Oh yeah, we can actually use a furnace in the middle. It actually can face outwards or whatever. I like to make it face this, like this, and I'll place this observer on top, and again, oh, I forgot the item. Okay, cool. So let's recap the timing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's like 9. Observer right here. Rail. I don't know what the orientation is. Actually doesn't matter, but yeah, looks better this way. 10. Finally. Okay. So that's again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is why we need to have this as a 1 tick repeater as opposed to a 2, because it will make this work for a 3rd pulse, and it will also make this smart toggle, I will make it later, work. And I'll explain how this works as well later. So you can see if I just power the bottom, we will have the 3 pulses that we require. Oh, we need to reset this, of course. The way to reset in this side is actually not a hard thing. I think it's a 4-tick repeater. Yes. It's actually only 4-tick. Like that. And in this side, I don't remember how. Oh yes, we will just have an observer right here for later. Well, I'm just going to grab my gray terracotta. This is actually going to be for our next part of the build. Like this, dust here, surfacing down, 3-tick repeater. Okay, so again we can see that this is working. You can see those are reset. Like that. Cool. Okay, now we can continue to the rest of the retraction. And actually we already have the bottom storage done. We just need to do the double piston extender. Except I actually forgot something. We need a dropper right here. Silence them. It's the best way to do it, like this. And we need 2 observers, one facing down and one facing in, into this input for the double extender later. So what will this do is that, because of course we need to push the blocks, because this piston will put this block right here and we need to push it up, and so we will just use the same timing 2 ticks after this side powers from this. So yeah, this will actually do whole closing except for the double. I can show you right now. So yeah, the bottom is actually not really hard because there isn't really much thing to be done, but of course I actually have something that is very nice. The bottom timing is not tight, but the bottom circuit is what I fried, like that. So I always say that when I was making, I actually did come up with that code. It's actually very funny. The bottom timing is not tight, but the bottom circuit, the bottom timing is not tight, but the bottom wiring is what I fried, like that. So let's see this in action. I'm lost for words. Is this working? Like that. You can see that part at a different time, but it's fine. And during the door, we will actually skip this last pulse and we'll just go straight into double extender because it's just absolutely too fast. So yeah, we'll just do the double instantly. So to do this really quick. Oops, like this, and we will see that the bottom opening except for the double extender works like that. And that first pulse actually gets blocked because the pistons were extended. And again, that pulse and that time will actually be skipped, and it will just go straight into double extender. And again, I know it worked, I know it fails, and I'm not even panicking because I have just discovered a mistake I made in this tutorial. And that's because I did not place this observer. I need to make this a chest. So you can see this 0-tick slider. This dust will power this block. If this were a solid block, it will also power this piston and also update this piston. This piston will update this, making it powered. That means that it will not update that piston to create the 0-tick. That means that is why it broke. But that's actually fine because now I have fixed it. So that's all we can need to do, and we just need to do the double extender. So the double extender needs to happen at, I don't exactly remember what the timing is, but the last retraction needs to happen at 13.5 again. That means that's 12.5. I think it needs to be powered at 11.5, 11. I think it needs to be powered at 11.5. So I think it needs to be powered at 11.5 in the closing and the opening, and 10.5 at the opening. So we will use any other technique that that I actually already have used, but I will explain that later. Okay, so let's get into the double extender. Let's recap the timing again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We will be using this observer, 5. And we will be continuing this into here and have a trapdoor right here and a scaffolding. Scaffolding right here. And I'll take my gray terracotta right this side. And we'll be detecting that using an observer again. So let's again do this. 1, 2, 3.5, 4.5. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5, 6.5. And then we will have a piston. Sticky piston. Where is it? Here. And because when the opening needs to happen one tick a little bit later, and we will just be using this. So again, I said that when you move a piston with an observer, it will turn on always 2 ticks after, because the piston will move instantly and the observer will turn on 2 ticks after. But when you retract it, the piston will take 1 tick to extend, and then it will retract again. So it will be 1, and then the observer will turn on 2 ticks after it. That means that we add 1 and 2, that means we get 3. That is why it's 3 ticks after. So we will just be doing this, and again I will be recapping the timing. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5, 6.5, 7, 8.5, 9.5 right here. You will arrive at this block, and we will be using a redstone lamp. Turns on instantly. And what have I done? Yes. Right here. And that's 9.5, 10.5. And then I actually don't remember how we will do this. Oh, we will power piston, yes. So block here. Where's the regular piston? Regular piston here. Observer block. I'm going to do this. Dust. 2 blocks right here. So this will be the entire door done. So, except the sides, of course. So let's recap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let me finish this. 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, 11.5. So that's the perfect timing. So this turns on at 11.5 because this is only 1 tick. It will turn on at and will turn off at 12.5. This pistons will be right here at 12.5, and we will be receiving this 1 tick pulse, and it will just retract at 12. It will turn on at 12.5. This pistons will just retract again. Oh my god, what am I saying? Okay, let me just repeat. This is 1 tick pulse. This turns on at 11.5. That means that this piston, because it's only pushing 1 block, that means that it will arrive here at exactly 12.5 as well. And that arrives here at 12.5 exactly as this turns on, of course, because it's 1 tick delay. 1 tick delay, so 11.5, this turns on at 12.5, and this turns off at 13.5. So this will be the whole door complete, except this needs to close. So in the closing, oh, that is my fault. So after this I will do the sides and it will be done. And because this door needs to close, that means that we can do this, because in the closing we can actually make it one tick faster to make the closing also faster as well. So we'll close at 1.35. So you can see the whole closing works. You can see that it will skip this pulse and will just go straight into the double extender, except it doesn't work. Just continue making this explanation video, and I saw that, and yeah, the closing doesn't work, and I actually spent like 15 minutes trying to troubleshoot what the problem is, and it turns out It was just this observer. I placed the wrong object. I should have placed it from the scaffolding. I placed it from the trapdoor. That means that it activates one game tick sooner, which make it doesn't work. So now, oh man, I am so embarrassed. Okay, now it's a little bit locational. So yeah, this is what I saw. This is what I said, that it's not always reliable. Sometimes you need to put a hopper right here, sometimes you don't. But I don't know why. I think I just need to reset the pistons. Sometimes you just need to do that. And now it doesn't work again. My god. I'm not sure why it keeps breaking. Like you can saw that actually pushed. Actually, I already tried this with the hopper, but it doesn't work again. So I think I'm just going to continue explaining, and I will just hopefully find a mistake where. So again, let's start by just making this smart toggle. Let's not think about this door is not going to work, but I promise, I think I just made some mistake. So when the door is opened, we need this to be right here. So you can see, if you reevaluate the timing again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This turns on at 5, and we'll extend this piston at exactly 5 ticks. But if we look at here, this turns on at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This needs to push at exactly 6, right? But at 6, when this is about to extend, this piston is already extended. So when this piston about to extend, it can extend because this piston is already extended. So yeah, and then that happens in the closing, and after that, this piston will attract. And in the opening, the same thing will happen, but it's in the reverse. So this will power this, and then this will be extended. So that has a chance to extend before this can extend up, because it needs to give the 0 tick in the opening. And at the closing, you saw that this blocks were spat down because this was not locked, and so this ensures that will not happen again. Okay, so let's just make the sides work really quick. The sides need to retract at exactly, or need to be powered at 12.5, because 12.5, when we give it a 1 tick, we'll say 12.5. The piston will take 1 tick to extend. That means it's 1. Then it's from 12 redstone 12.5 until 13.5, so it will retract at 13.5. So the way to get that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we will have I will be using cyan terracotta for the sides. We will use this scaffolding trick again. So yes, block real quick. This. So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9.5, 10.5. This will be a rail. 11.5, 12.5, and finally a block for this. And then for this side, we just do the same. 11.5, 12.5, block, dust. So that will be this side done. And for this side, it's actually a little bit simpler, because all we need to do is that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we just need a block, trapdoor, and another scaffolding. That's for the 11, 11.5, 12.5. So it's not that hard for this side, because we can just have a single dust line going up. We don't need to split them. Yes, like this. And we can finally test the sides together with the, I'm not gonna care about the bottom real quick. What did I forget? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, we need two observers going up. I think I messed the timing real quick. So let's reevaluate this again. So 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 10.5 11.5 12.5. Yes, so I messed that up. So yes, so this will be just the sides already done like that. So you can see that actually retracts at the very last time, but it does actually work. So let's see if this actually works with the bottom as well, or have I actually done another mistake. Let's see. Let's hope this works, because I don't know what I messed up. Let's see the slow motion like this. So this works, and it hasn't worked again. I think I know what the problem is, so let's open it real quick. Let's not be panicked. You can see that it actually works. It doesn't work. Okay, so I know what the problem is. Okay, so it's not this side's problem, it's actually that side. So this problem I encountered at the very last moment I was about to finish the door. So this doesn't work, right? And it is something to do with the sides retracting. Or no, not the sides, the bottom retraction. So this fully retracts, but the sides doesn't work. The reason why, you can see that we're missing a block right there, because this block is actually getting pushed up. So this last pulse happens at 10. At 10. It means at 11, 12. So exactly at 12 ticks, this turns on. But we can't turn this on at the last moment, because if it turns on, there is nothing that is really blocking, because that piston is already finished retracting. That means that the piston retracting, because it's already finished retracting, it will not block this piston from pushing up again. And this gets an update from this actually fully extended, because this turns on at 11, this turns on at 12.5. So yeah, this turns on at 12, turns on at 12, turns off at 13, and at 12.5 it gets updated, so it spits back up. So it doesn't work, so it will break the door. And this side, it doesn't actually break, because we have this immovable object. So the blocks were fully out here, so when this is about to push, it will not be pushed, because this obsidian blocks it. And this is another reason why I have to make this fully synchronized, not fully synchronized, fully quadrisynced, because of that last pulse right there. And I couldn't make it 576 because of, yeah, I was absolutely hopeless, and I did not want to spend more time trying to figure out how I'm going to fit the circuitry in the 576 form. So I'm not gonna care. So hopefully that will fix the thing. So let's see if this works, hopefully. And I forgot this, and I don't know why it still doesn't work. Okay, maybe we need to try it again. Okay, let's do this. Hopefully this time it works. It doesn't break. So see, I think I missed something. Oh yes, I haven't actually added the thing. So we need to add this redstone lamp, and this. The reason why it's clay, cyan, because it needs for the side to work. So that means that you can see that it doesn't work for this side, because this pushes up. Okay, and this happens at 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 at 10. So at 10 it pulls this back down, so it will take 1 tick, so it will pull it at 11, and it will push this back up after 2 ticks. So at 13 this does it again, this turns off because it's a redstone lamp. That means we will push it up again at 14. That means that it will basically dodge the last pulse in this side, so it will make it work. So hopefully this now it works. Let's see. Oh my god, what the heck? Oh, this got pushed down. Okay, let's see that again. Let me make sure that everything is in place. Let's see. I did not break anything at the bottom here. I think I did not. Yeah, there was thankfully there was nothing down there. So place this back again. See, you can see that works for this for the bottom opening, and for the closing, that means it works. See, that actually brings a massive upgrade to the door, because if this weren't here, it would have not work. So you can see. So yeah, it's actually fully reliable, but it needs the whole thing to be built in order to the bottom to work. So yeah, this is just basically, you can see I could have actually placed it right here, but you can see that it was very tight. I almost have no space to actually make it, so that's why I have to make this 612. So yeah, so for those who want to make it a 576, good luck. You need to probably deal with that annoying pulse again, or else you need to have another different bottom sequence. So how long has it been? 2 minutes and 25 seconds. So yeah, so I hope you guys are entertained with this, and I hope you guys understood what I have been meaning with this whole time. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I think I'm not going to be uploading any more videos, I think, because I need to focus on my school and I love studying. So yeah, bye.